Calling the Brandon Board of Education regular meeting to order. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
John Chartier.
Here.
Rebecca Haynes here. Lisa Cavaluna here. Kim Smith-Calaga here. Hillary Stokowski here. Jeff Zilke
Here.
Diane Salter
Here.
Dr. Gary Richards
Here.
Dan Ziesel here.
Okay.
Harley Stone, absent with notice. Sorry.
Okay. Yep. And I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty. Okay, next on our agenda we have the
Return you.
Hello.
Yep. Turn your mic off. Yep. Or turn your mic off.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
You're
great.
not up. You're not up.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Next we have up is the Brandon High School student report. If I could get Caleb Swing and Reagan Steffi. Come on up. Hi, good evening.
Sorry, where's
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We are the Brandon Student Report representing Student Council. This is Reagan Steffi. She's our treasurer, she's our secretary. I'm our treasurer, Caleb Swing.
Okay, so things that had just happened in Stuco, we went to our Flint Metro League meeting. That was in Corona, and then we had our half-court shot basketball halftime thing. It was a raffle where kids would come in and they would put their name in a raffle if they want to participate, and only 5 got to go. And if they got in, they would win a pizza. And next we made cards for medical centers, as you can see in the corner. We had Charity Week, which included selling candy grams, donuts, bagels, Rent to Stuco and PJ Day. For candy grams, you could write a little note. Rent to Stuco is basically where us kids, we get put up for a bid kind of to help out other students for the day. And then we did pizza kits where we would have to go around and get some people to buy pizza kits to fundraise for regionals or states, regionals and states. Right now we have, it ended today, coin count jars. That's just where every 6th hour would put some coins in a jar and we counted it for 2 weeks.
I believe it
Yes.
was
1 week? Okay, 1 week. And then we just had Christmas in the village, so that was fun.
Coming up in the future for us, our Christmas Spirit Week. I would tell you what days we're doing, but they haven't been announced yet, so I can't. I'm sorry. And then we're going to be reading to children at Harvey Swanson on December 14th, this Wednesday. It's going to be kids' books, Christmas books. We're going to do more basketball halftime events like the half court shot because people really enjoy that. I think that's one of the best events we've done so far. Our Flint Metro League Regionals is in January. We go to Frankenmuth and a bunch of other schools. There's a bunch of presentations about their student councils and we all vote on our favorite ones. Our pizza kits are arriving, so we're going to hand those out. And then we are working on our Angel Closet, which is going to be a clothes donating option for students.
Around the school, athletics, we have Drew Hickmott qualified for the all-state football team. Go him.
Yeah.
Winter sports started like basketball, swimming, and men's. And then academics, we have a new botany class starting, which is we're going to be renovating the greenhouse and it's studying plant life. And congrats to Margot Gilbert and Andrew Hart for qualifying for National Merit Scholarships. They got in the top 1% of SAT scores in the country.
All right.
Around the school of Woodmore, our performing arts, we have our holiday choir concert coming up. This is this Thursday. It'll be at 7 p.m. if you want to go. I'm going. And then our band concert, which I will be performing in, will be at 7 p.m. Also recently, Fayette County was performed. It was very funny. I enjoyed it a lot. Everything else. Our teacher nominations of the year are now open. NMSQT scores are released, and congrats on the top scores. I know I saw them on the weekly roundup this week. And then Christmas break is coming up. So yeah. And that is it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have a bond update. Brian, now you're up.
Okay. Good evening,
Hi, Brian.
everyone.
Hi, Brian. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I'm getting the document ready.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Is my audio working now?
Brian.
Hello? Yes. Hello.
Okay, we can hear you, Brian.
Okay, great. Thank you. So bond update for December. Good evening, everyone. Just to give a quick summary again of the 3 bid packages that are going up for bids, and then an update on the bidding schedule. So on the first slide, the next slide there, Maria, if you will, just to remind everybody, we've got the 3 bid packages. Brandon High School is package number 1. The Brandon Middle School and the exterior athletic fields will be package number 2. And bid package number 3 is all the work at Harvey Swanson Elementary. So the next slide is just, I'd like to just do a quick summary of each one again. We've talked about these in detail, but just to, as a refresher, bid pack 1 for the high school, we're doing classroom and band room, HVAC work, creating a new restroom at the performing arts area for the students to use in the back hallway. We're also remodeling the women's toilet up on the main floor by the Performing Arts Center lobby to make that ADA accessible. We'll be installing some doors at the toilet rooms, the student toilet rooms down by the gym, replacing some damaged brick and adding gutters to the front entrance of the school and also the side entrance over where the shop areas are. The water comes off of the metal roof pretty fast and has been damaging the bricks. So we're going to add some gutters to collect that water and take that water away. We've got several roof areas that we're going to be replacing as well on the main building. Also in the pool area, replacing the scoreboard and the sound system and also the timing system for the pool. There is mechanical room equipment we'll be replacing and piping. That's the room that actually supplies the water to the pool basin. And then we'll be purchasing or securing the ventilation unit that we've been talking about that will sit on the ground outside the side wall of the pool. Just as a reminder, the work I've listed above will be scheduled for this summer, except for that pool unit. There's a 52-week lead time for that pool unit. So we need to secure it now, get it under contract, but that would be slated for replacement in summer of '24. We'll also be replacing the sound system in the auditorium and the sound system in the gymnasium. There's no questions. The next slide is bid package number 2, which is the work at the middle school. The area back by the iTech area, we're going to be adding an exterior door and some interior doors so the public can use the interior restrooms for athletic events. And we're also going to be adding a new door in the main vestibule to create a secure entrance vestibule up the main entrance of the building. The exterior athletics are also included in bid package 2, replacing the turf on the football field, replacing the track surface, replacing the tennis court surfaces, and then the remodeling of the middle school baseball field to make that into the varsity baseball field. And bid package 3, which is the next slide, is the work at Harvey Swanson. It's again changing a lot of finishes in the building, the classroom flooring and the corridor flooring. The interior doors along the hallways to the classrooms will be replaced. We'll be painting all the walls, adding new cabinetry in the classrooms and storage rooms, painting some of the lockers on the east side of the building, and then replacing about 150 lockers over down by the upper elementary wing that they're just too bad. They're in such bad shape. We need to replace them. Be some media center upgrades that we discussed last time. Remodeling two of the toilet rooms over by the upper elementary wing. The oldest toilet rooms in the building will be upgraded. Replacing some old exterior doors and frames that are the old metal doors. We're putting in aluminum doors and frames. The exterior entrance upgrades. So we're adding the canopy enhancements to the canopies at the elementary entrance and also the early childhood entrance. There is a lot of roofing that'll be done on the west side of the building. And then there's HVAC upgrades to the band room area and also the cafeteria. I noted also the furniture, as I mentioned, furniture is not going out with this package. We're going to purchase the furniture directly through a cooperative bidding program. And I'll bring that to the board after the new year. Jessica and I still have a few things to firm up after the holiday, but we'll be bringing that to the board as a direct purchase through a cooperative bidding process. So that will not be included in the actual bid package number 3. The next slide, I just wanted to remind the board, we are taking some alternate bids. So we've got some alternates that are identified for bid package number 1. We've got the auditorium, theatrical lighting and sound system. I don't know, Maria, if you can advance that slide 1, please. There's also, there we go, thank you. There's some weight room turf surface that Jesse'd like to place in the weight room area for more exercise ability for the students, and also replacing the gymnasium bleachers. So those are the 3 alternates. We'll be taking separate prices. Just to remind the board that an alternate means we're taking a separate price from the bid package for that specific item. So when the bids come in and we talk with you in January, we'll be able to look at those numbers. They'll be broken out from the original bid package so you can make a decision if you want to go through with that or not. Bid package 2, there's some alternates. We have the GMAX pad under the football field turf. We are taking an alternate to add bleachers and a small press box behind the home plate at the baseball field after it's remodeled into the varsity field. And there's some more in-depth tennis court for crack repair. There's another option to handle the crack repairs on the court, which may get us a little longer lifespan. For bid pack 3, which is the work at Swanson, the early childhood wing would also receive the same type of flooring, wall paint, and door replacement, but that'll be broken out as an alternate bid. And also down in the early childhood area, there's the media center renovations. We'll be adding some cabinetry, replacing flooring, and doing some modifications in that media center room down in the early childhood wing. There's no questions on the bid package. The next slide would be the updated bidding schedule. Chris and Jeff have had the drawings for a couple of weeks now. We've been going back and forth, and they've also they've identified or notified me that there's several other school districts out for bids at this time. So they made a request to shift the bid date by about 2 weeks so they can not be in direct competition with some other bid packages that are out the door right now. And it would give us a little bit better exposure and a little more, they feel a little more competition and looks from contractors if we shifted it in a 2-week span. So that's what this schedule is representing. It will not affect our end date or completing the projects in the summer, but they just feel with the way the Christmas holidays hitting and with these other projects that were all scheduled to be due prior to the Christmas holiday, that a lot of people would pass us by and not give us any consideration. So they've extended the bid date. Was originally supposed to be December 22nd. It's now going to be due on January 12th after the holiday. And then we'll evaluate the bids. And we'd still like to have a presentation to the board at a workshop, January 23rd, 24th, 25th to 6th. That week there, we'd like to actually present to you the bids and the alternate bids so we can have in-depth discussion on the bids. And then at a special board meeting on January 30th would be the actual formal awarding of the contract. So it's a shift of 2 weeks. Again, they don't feel it's going to be any type of a scheduling problem for us of getting the other work done in the summer. But they felt this would give us more exposure and more contractor involvement. Just because of the way the Christmas holiday felt, they would like to extend it so the bids are due after the holiday instead of before. And I think that's all I've got for tonight.
Any questions for Brian? Thanks, Brian. We don't have any questions. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, please. Thanks very much.
Take care. Okay, next on our agenda, we have the superintendent report, Dr. Gary Richards. Oh, I'm sorry. No, next we have, sorry about that. We have the road security agreement.
Yeah, thanks. I'd like to update you. You know, back in the last spring, the board approved for ROK to come in and add additional cameras. And then we had an amendment in June. So total about 186 additional cameras. Tonight, we're asking for an amendment to that contract. Unfortunately, it's December 12th, and they are not done. We've had some problems with them. I got Jeremy involved a couple of weeks ago. 2 issues. The timing was supposed to be done August 1st, and like I said, they're 4 months past due. So that's a problem. And they're not really showing any urgency to get the project completed. So the amendment tonight that we'll be voting on addresses we've asked for January 15th completion date. They haven't been on site since last Tuesday, so fingers crossed on that. They want paid. I was withholding, we have paid them, but the last invoice, I didn't feel it was all justified based on the completion of work. So we have an agreement to that. And if the board approves the amendment, they are going to get a check tomorrow. And I've got fingers crossed because, you know, I'm not 100% certain that they're going to complete this project, but we're on it. We have Jeremy involved. If they don't, we're going to have to go to plan B. So we have not overpaid them, but it would be a bit of a extra work and a little bit of a hassle to go to plan B. So hopefully they are going to come on site, but like I said, we had to go to this step because the project just wasn't moving forward. Progress was not being made. Yeah.
The work that they've done, have we equal in pay to the work that we have?
I've been through this with Thomas. In fact, I was not, approving any invoices, and then I went through it with Jeremy again. We feel we're about equal. Okay. So they did a lot of the wiring and cabling, or the front end stuff for the cameras. The initial problem, at least what they told us back in the summer, is supply chain issues. So they asked if we would be willing to substitute a product that was actually even better than the product originally they were going to put in, and it was going to save us $14,000. So again, Thomas is he would have been here tonight. He had a prior commitment, so I thought I could probably handle this part of it. But so we agreed to that to help expedite the completion, and they told us back in August it would be November. We knew we were not going to make the August 1st deadline. Like I said, we're just getting a feeling. They're not responding to emails like they should be. They're not responding to, they were kind of ignoring us.
So the money that you want us to approve for them, does that mean they're gonna get the work done? Or are they gonna still?
With the money that tonight is just, it's just really the original contract less like $14,000. It's more about two things. The completion date, we wanted to put a timeline to this project. They signed it, they've agreed to be done by January 15th. And then the second part is our agreement on what we will pay them and when we will pay them.
Okay.
Because they thought anytime they sent an invoice over, I was supposed to just sign it, or they were, sending emails like, well, you're not paying us. And well, we were paying them, and we want to pay them for work they did. We don't want to pay them for work they haven't completed. We actually only have 2 working cameras right now.
So we'll have retention amounts.
We have a process.
We do have a retention.
So how much?
You hold a 10% back from each invoice, but we also have this is how you're going to bill us. We've said no more labor. They've agreed to that. They're not billing us for any more labor.
And
yeah.
Is this something that maybe we need to go to closed session for? Okay.
If you want to, yeah. Okay.
Well, let's table this.
Okay.
We'll table this to the end, please.
Okay, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna table this. The action item is gonna be tabled. So till afterwards, if depending what would come out of close, no decision. Sorry about that. Next on our agenda, the superintendent report, Dr. Gary Richards.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I don't have a lot to add. I think I gave a pretty comprehensive report last week. You do have Neola policies for first reading in your packet this evening. When we get to that point, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to cover the information. It's a small pack, not a lot of new information, minor changes. So I think it's probably relatively straightforward. I am excited about a couple of guests that we have with us this evening from 3rd grade. I think they're excited as well. We're in for a very special treat tonight. Our 3rd grade students have been working on persuasive writing skills and essays for a few years now. Not just 3rd grade, but well before 3rd grade. But I understand that now they are working on persuasive writing speeches. And so I think we're going to get a sample of that this evening. They're going to share with us what they've been working on, what they have learned, and to introduce our showcase, our Oakwood Elementary School principal, Mrs. Coy Stewart.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have a bunch of helpers tonight, so I'm going to ask them to come on up. Maria, thank you. We've got somebody on cup, so you guys want to come on, girls? Come on up and stand up for the house. All right. So tonight, as Richard explained, we are going to be presenting on our persuasive writing that's going to Oakwood. And for me, this is probably one of my favorite units of study that our kids do, because they really bring me into it and they try to persuade me to, do things the way that they would like them to be done. And it's really, really nice to see kids taking what they've learned from kindergarten to 2nd grade and writing and being able to use it in a way that really helps them to use their voice to make a difference or to make a change or to get somebody to maybe think the way that they are thinking about different things. So we're going to quickly go through this, and then I'm going to have you girls kind of be like the stars of the show and the finale and read your speeches for the end, okay? But I will let you know we have Ashley here, who's going to be reading her speech, and we have Aubrey, who's going to be reading her speech with her sister, who is also a moral support and helper. And she's also been writing, but she's not going to have time to share hers tonight, but we're happy you're here to help your sister out. And then I've got my 3rd grade team here because they're the ones doing all the work. So I'm about to be quiet and hand it over to them and let them share with you a little bit. But we have Amy Reeves, Sarah Rusin, Brittany Nikolai, and Shelly Schatz to round out our 3rd grade teachers. I'm going to let them kind of take it over. And for our friends, they all wanted to come, all 3rd grade here. They all wanted to read their speeches. So in order to get a few more of them to share their learning with you, we have a couple of video snippets that teachers have given so that they can share kind of their learning process along the way. So we'll let you watch a few of those throughout the slideshow. Then, like I said, Ashley and Aubrey will read their speeches and then I'll kind of wrap it up at the end. And since they weren't able to all be here and read them, I said if they submitted theirs to me, that you would all get a packet. So you have a bunch that you can read on your own time. And they're going to be really excited to hear about it. So I'll hand it over to let them go through and you want to sure. Okay.
So this is my friend Connor. And Connor's going to explain to you how to use his 5 fingers to tell the different structure of the essay.
I don't think I can do this from the clicker, right? Ready? Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You need your introduction. And then you need your reason for what you say.
Started it.
5 things. You need your introduction.
There we go. I guess I can start this.
And just like anything in life, we want to teach our writers that they need to practice, practice, practice before they even start writing. So this is my friend Stella, and she's going to be talking about all of her reasons why we need water in the cafeteria.
We need water. We need water because of blood. We need water because we eat spicy things too, and when we get hot lunch, we forget to send our waters down. We need waters because some of us play sports. We need waters because they are more healthy. We need waters because the high schoolers and middle schoolers get water and not us.
Their fingers have a lot.
So another way that the kids plan out their writing is by using boxes and bullets. In my class, we call them actually boxes and dots. So that's what you'll hear him say. But this is primarily used for the kids to organize. Their box has their big, bold, and brave thesis, and their dots have all the reasons to go along with their thesis.
These boxes and dots when you get writing this thesis, and these are really good.
And then it's not just enough to have your reasons, we have to support them. So in 3rd grade, we spent a lot of time thinking about our personal lives and how we've experienced these claims and why we need to change things. So this is my friend Eli, and he's going to tell you about why the soccer net needs to be fixed.
Have you seen the soccer field? One of the nets are broken. One reason is sometimes kids fight over if it goes in or not. Like when Emma scored a goal and the 4th grader said it didn't count. And I felt sad for my team.
Yeah, so like I said, they're taking all of those things that they're learning to put speeches together. So they are kind of, this is their first dabbling into what a formal structured essay is comprised of. So we like to start with, like Mrs. Ruth said, with a lot of oral rehearsals, and that's kind of what the speeches are for too. So Ashley, your name is up there first. You have a speech of what is the best?
We did do a lot of work on speaking to your audience.
Yeah.
Awesome. You'll hear a little bit of that.
So Ashley decided not to talk about a problem tonight, but to talk about something that's noteworthy and special. So she's going to talk about Oakwood tonight.
Do you like Oakwood? They're at a great school, but Oakwood is the top best school. Oakwood is the best school because Oakwood is a really safe school. For example, we have security guards outside when we go out for recess. We also have night walks. One time in second grade, we went around for lockdown and I was really scared. But we went in the club area and we were fine. Did you know Oakwood is one of the top 5 safest schools? Another reason why Oakwood is the best school is because in the library, out there are heated floors by the windows. For example, every time I go in the library, after I check out a book, I find myself on a heated floor. It feels like a nice warm crackling fire under you. Also in the winter when it's snowing, it looks like you're in a snow globe. It's so beautiful. Another reason why Oakwood is the best school is because everyone's so nice. All my teachers have been so great. Also, all my classmates have been so nice. For example, one time at snack time, I randomly started bleeding and Emma grabbed me a Band-Aid. It was so nice of her. Oakwood is the best school ever, so you should love and be thankful for Oakwood.
Thank you.
So Aubrey's going to share her essay next, and we were focused on how to change our world. So the kids looked at the different problems that we face at Oakwood and how would we improve them. So Aubrey's going to talk about how Oakwood needs a sink in our living room. All right, ready to go?
Oh, Oakwood is a great place and I love it, and I love that and the large things are so nice, but a lot of get sick, and I think that we should put a key in the lunch before we get sick. You have to be home before sick. Like one time I had to stay home. I was sad because I was sick and it was not fun. You can't even go outside and play. You can't even learn because you are sick, and it's not fun being bored because you can't have fun with your friends. If you don't wash your hands, then you will get sick because we go to recess and when we come and we go to lunch. You touch a lot of stuff at recess, and if someone was sick and they touched it before you, then you could get sick and miss school. If you are sick, that won't be fun because you will have a lot of homework and you will have to stay in for recess and do homework, and then you won't have fun with your friends. We need a sink in the lunchroom where people would get sick and they might not come back to school for a while because they got sick from touching things. Then you eat lunch and that's how you get sick. But otherwise, the school is fun.
Thank you, girls. So audience is everything for our kids as they're learning how to write. It gives them, here's a quote from Lucy Calkins, who is the author of the units of study that we use to instruct our young little writers. But we cannot teach writing well unless we trust that there is a real and human reason to write. And what having an audience for our kids does is it motivates them. It increases their writing stamina because they're excited about writing. I know that when I come in and they try to convince me of something, I always tell them I'm a really tough nut to crack. And it really kind of gets them all revved up to really try and find their reasons and to support their thesis with evidence so that they can kind of make me think their way. So it helps them increase their stamina, helps them determine their work choice and their voice when they know who they're writing for. And it also creates a real context for the writing. So it's not just something that they're doing in class, but to bring it in the real world is a real gift for our kids. So thank you for being our audience. We really appreciate it. And like I said, I've got more to repeat. But before I pass that out, or as I pass that out, if you have any questions for our teachers or our speakers.
Anybody got any questions?
Just a wonderful job, girls.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Your writing and the way you presented yourselves could not be any better. So well done. It looks like you worked really hard. Good job. You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Very well done. I see future debaters.
Yeah.
and I wrote it down. We got to fix the sink and the soccer nets. I'm telling Ryan. Add it to our list for the bond money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Coy.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, I really have to say, I'm really excited about this. The Brandon School District welcomes the Superintendent of Oakland County ISD, Dr. Cook Robinson. We are so excited to have her here today. We are honored that she is here today. To our knowledge, this is the first time ever that a sitting ISD superintendent has made time to come to a Brandon School Board meeting. And tell us about the highlights of Oakland schools, but also tell us what to take advantage of and also what we're maybe already taking advantage of. I also need to know that Dr. Cook Robinson was named one of Crain's 100 most influential women last year. She served as the she's serving as the Oakland School Superintendent since 2015, and we are one of the 28 school districts that you provide for. I also, on a personal note, I saw you at a fundraising event, and it was you, as soon as I say something, you remind me how you were going to be here today. And I just appreciate it. You're such a personal leader who remembers everyone. Now, I also want to say one of our mottos here at Brandon is a motto from Deputy Eric Overall, who lost his life in the line of duty in 2017. And it is never quit. Dr. Cook Robinson, we appreciate that you never quit. And it is my understanding you also brought two people with you.
Brought the backup team.
Yeah, the backup team. Ken Gutman, if I'm saying that right, Deputy Superintendent, and George Elbert, who is the president of the Oakland School Board Association. Thank you. Floor is yours.
Well, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to come. And she did not have to ask me twice. When she said, would you like to come? I said, oh, of course I would. I was so excited as we started to put this presentation together. We wanted to make it personal because we know not only do you want to know about the products and services that we do at Oakland Schools, but how does Brandon School District interact with us? So I called my buddy Gary and I said, Gary, getting ready for this presentation. I know I have too much data and help me narrow this down. He says, oh, it all sounds good, Wanda. You have a whole 3 minutes. And then he said, got you. So what we'd like to do is just take a few minutes to give you an overview of Oakland School and then share with you how branding interacts with us. I'm going to invite to the podium the president of my board, Mr. George Elbert, who's going to begin for us.
Come on, George.
First of all, thanks for the invitation, but all my years on the school board, I learned never follow students, especially in elementary. So they're a wonderful, wonderful program. You should be proud of the teaching staff there and the kids have accomplished. It's awesome. Oakland Schools, we're what's known as an educational service agency located in Oakland County. We serve the 28 districts of the Oakland County, as well as the ESA. Educational service agency means we don't serve individual schools directly, but the district as a whole. But still, our focus, as you can see, is every student, every day.
There's an arrow.
There we go.
Got it.
Again, we're one of the 56 intermediate school districts in Michigan. Our focus is to save you money, save resources so you can devote more right to the classrooms and the students. We do it by providing consolidated services, high quality professional development for your teaching staff. It's based in the latest research and instructional methods. We help train your support staff, whether it be bus drivers, food service, whatever. Across the county, we pilot innovative programs. You may be aware of the LEO program for the literacy essentials for the early childhood literacy. And we coordinate all the early childhood, the Great Start Readiness Program, special ed, and the career and technical ed across the county. And that includes both the programs that you host within your district, as well as the tech campuses. Northwest is the one that would generally serve your district. Our board, Oakland Schools is overseen by a board. There's 5 of us, and we're elected to 6-year staggered terms by you. Every 2 years, your board votes on the candidates. 4 of our 5 current board members have served on local boards with over 50 years combined experience. And I say this because that means our board understands not only the challenges, but the opportunities that you face as a local district board member. One of the things that you also interface with us on is every year you get to vote on our general fund budget. Put down in your calendars, April 20th of this year, or this coming year, will be the designates meeting where you can come to Open Schools in the evening and ask whatever questions you want about our budget before you vote on it in the month of May. The role of Open Schools, we really work to serve the needs of the local districts and the PSAs. What we do comes from you. Our board doesn't sit there and say, this is what we think the county needs. It comes up from the districts. And what we want to do, we always look at it to increase student achievement at all levels. We want to serve the diverse needs of the district or the schools. The districts in Oakland County have tremendous diversity, and we want to be there for every district, large, small, urban, rural, everywhere in between, every type of student that's in the county. We always look at everything with the goal of decreasing the costs and increasing efficiencies. We want to use our size and our ability as a county to get the best for our districts. Again, our work is initiated by your district needs. We provide comprehensive professional development. When necessary, when requested, we'll provide consultation and coaching for your district staff. We offer a variety of networking opportunities across the county, and whatever supports you need to improve safety and security, we're there. Especially in the area of cybersecurity, a very, very critical component. And we're very proud of the work we do and the services we offer across the county. The service, expertise, and excellence from our staff at Open Schools, that's our foundation. We try to get as much funding as we can directed right to the classrooms and the schools. We process a lot of grant funds. I think $80 million a year in grants. Those have mandated expenditures and a lot of audit requirements. We're there to help you make sure your grant funds are spent properly so that there's no clawbacks from the state. We have the expertise that will help you. And then regional services, because of the size of our county and the opportunities, we can offer tremendous cost and quality advantages. This is one of my favorite slides. And this is from 21-22, but essentially every year is about the same. 93% of the dollars that we have that flow through our budget, whether it be CTE millages, special ed millages, general fund, grants, 93% are directed right back to the schools in Oakland County. We do this, as I said, a variety of ways. Administrative services, we help you there. Cooperative purchasing, I notice that you're taking advantage of it with your bond furniture purchase. We offer that in a variety of areas. We help with printing, school bus driver training and testing. And then the compliance, so important in these days to have proper compliance with special ed, pupil accounting, Medicaid reimbursements. Our professional development will cover all aspects of a school district, from curriculum, leadership, school improvement, student behavior, mental health, you name it. We have the professional development ready for you to take advantage of at all times. This should be a quick little video to give you indication of something.
Is that your last slide?
There might be one more. Maybe not. I don't need to hold it up. In your packet is a publication called the District Service Report. And this is a listing of all the programs and services that we provide across the county. And from all aspects, and you can look in here and you can see exactly how the programs that Brandon participates in. You can see the many cases, the supports that we have given, and the dollars that we have assisted you with in saving. One I would just like to highlight, and I know it was just here, what, maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, it's the semi-trailer. I think you had a tremendous number of, I think they were the elementary or students or, yeah. And this is one of our proudest programs, because we want to get the kids excited in the new STEM. And we, not only with the kids, we set up the program where we have 2 teachers that come with it to support your instructional staff, make your staff feel more comfortable in introducing STEM concepts into their classroom. And so we're proud to support that. That's funded through grants, as well as our countywide career technical ed millage. I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Cook Robinson and let her explain the other side. This is a compilation of some of the information out of the district service report, but tailored directly to the Brandon district. When she's done, if you have any questions, we'd be more than happy, one or both of us, to answer.
Thank you. Since Gary only gave me 3 minutes, if you open your folders, we've given you a little more information to read. We have a copy not only of the PowerPoint, but you also have a flyer that will tell you more about our Oakland Technical Centers. And as my board president said, you have the district service plan. Now, this will not be nearly as exciting as the persuasive writing package. However, if about midnight you're still up and you have nothing else to do, take it out. You'll find it very, very exciting. I want to talk about the programs and services and how you've interacted here in Brandon. So if you'll take this document out, I want to take a stroll through it with you and just highlight several things. But I do want to reinforce the STEMI has been, and that's this little flyer that you have in your folders. It has been in Brandon this week. You've had 384 of your elementary students go through, and 14 of your educators have interacted with the STEMI. And if you haven't had an opportunity, then I'll have to bring it back, because you have to go through and experience the technology, the electric vehicles, and all of the fun stuff that's in there. So please, you know, have that opportunity, and we can let you know when it's close by, or maybe you'll get a chance to get it back. In this document, this talks specifically about how we've interacted with Brandon. And the first page shares your service data. We have provided 1,349 hours of service to Brandon, and during this time period. And the time period would be July 1, 2020 to December 8, 2022. We've had 66 consultants in your district working across all of the areas that are listed there. And as you can see, we provide leadership support in all areas of schooling. And if we don't have it listed, all your teachers, staff have to do is to call us and say, this is what we need. And Kim can verify it, because she used to be one of my staff. If you'll turn the page, you can see all of the areas that we provide leadership support, not only in the content areas, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those are our basics, but we also provide support in early childhood with English language learners. And we also have something unique to ISDs here in Michigan. At Oakland, we have a unit that works with social workers, and also not only works with the state to make that connection with those social workers and agencies that are in the community, but also in the school. We work with things like human trafficking, homelessness. You might be familiar here with the McKinney-Vento Act, students that are homeless and things that we have to do. But we have folks at local schools that come out and help your staff to service and support those students. We also have support in the areas of mental health and safety, two things that have been high on our list here in Michigan. If you'll turn the page with me, I just want to highlight some of the subsidies and direct cost savings that we provide for our districts, including Brandon. And the numbers here that you see represent the dollars that we have contributed to Brandon in these areas. And I'd like to just highlight a few. If you look at the first one, the Nepis software, this is software that provides educators the ability to bring industry professionals right into the classroom virtually. So when we talk about a real world context, I can see that near and dear to Janice. When we talk about a real world context, this is software that allows us to bring it right into the classroom. Also, if you look at Illuminate, Brandon has experienced $19,298 worth of service in that area. Illuminate is an important tool. It's an assessment tool that all of our teachers in all 28 districts and public service academies utilize to do assessments. They're able to take the data from their students and to put it into this software and to be able to generate other assessments for them, as well as to look at their progress over time. And we subsidize that for all of our districts. If you'll look at Atlas, the Atlas software, Brandon experiences about $3,280 there of service. And this is our curriculum tool. We take our curriculum, we work across the county. Many of you are very familiar with the Teaching and Learning Council, where we have a representative from every single district and PSA in the county that comes together to help us to provide curriculum leadership. And we share modules, we share resources, we share information, and this is the tool that helps us to do that. If you'll also look on that page, you'll see that in the area of special education, I know you provide a lot of support for your special education students here in Brandon. And PA 18 allotment to Brandon is $2,517,724. overall, if you're looking, I won't read all of this to you because I know tonight about midnight, you're gonna pull this out. You have over $2.9 million that comes to Brandon and the products and services that we provide for you. And if we don't have it listed here, remember, your educators and your teachers, we're a phone call away. And if we don't have it, then we sit down and we figure it out with you. We do that together. So we see Brandon as our partner. So we don't always have all the answers, but together we can find the answers. Any questions?
I can say, being the 10 years I found with Oakland Schools, my administrator, the superintendent here, Dr. Gary Richards, Jan, for as long as she's been here too, always saying, I've contacted Oakland School, da 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 da. It has been, yes, a support. But I also have said, you feel a bubble in your own district, as if our problems are the only ones. And we find that the communication, the being able to network with the other districts and with the school board has been great, because the trainings and things like that, and just really appreciate it. We do have something small token for all three of you, unless Ken, I don't know if you were planning on saying anything.
Well, actually, I just spent the last 20 years as a superintendent. I'm going to be quiet.
From Brandon, and thank you very much. I do. Yeah, there you go. Hey, thank you very much. I just really want to thank you. Does anybody have anything to say? I'm just very impressed. We have lots of reading material. Yeah, they get emails, but I just really appreciate and continue with doing the success. Thank you very much. Thank you. We got reading material. No more solitary Kindle tonight. Okay, next on our agenda, we have public comment and questions on agenda business.
We do not have any.
Okay, having none, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go into our action items, I just want to mention a couple things. First of all, we have action item B, which was approval of the middle school band and choir overnight trip to Mackinac. And action item C, which was going to be approval to the high school band and choir overnight extended trip to Orlando. Those are being tabled, so they will not be voted on tonight. And then we are adding a closed session at the very end. That will become action item F. So if somebody wants to write for security. Next, we're going to have approval of our consent agenda. Could I get a motion, please?
Move the Brandon Board of Education approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Having none, could I have a roll call vote, please?
John Chartier.
Yes.
Rebecca Haynes, yes. Lisa Cataluna.
Yes.
Kim Smith-Colaga.
Yes.
Hillary Stokowski.
Yes.
Jeff Silky.
Yes.
Diane Salter.
Yes. Okay, next on our agenda, we have information and discussion items. First is board report. I know Kim's got something to say.
Yeah, so I got to attend some MASB courses this week. It was good. I mean, it was a blast. I learned a lot. I attended kind of brush up on school finance. So that was one that was really important. Learned some important things there. Open Meetings Act, teacher effectiveness, just understanding further how data is used to support decision making. And I think what was the fourth one? Effective meetings, running effective meetings. So
perfect,
yeah,
great.
So it was good. They had the virtual sessions and made it easy.
Nice.
So
anyone else have a board report?
I do.
Yes.
Just takes me a second to get around here. I can manage. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Bittersweet, but here we are with a couple of presentations. John,
I need you. Move back some of the back to everybody. Makes me nervous.
Right. Yeah.
So, John, my friend, there is no way to say it makes me sad. You have been committed to the Brandon School District in such a long way in every way. When we asked for you to come back after serving 2 terms already, you said, sure. What do you need, basically? While assuring it was only going to be through. Understand. So very much appreciated that you stepped up. One of the legacy questions that will always ring for me is, can we afford it? That was always, it's always front and center in all of our minds, of course, but that was, you can count on John to put it front and center in every discussion, even when there are counterbalancing, you know, how many issues do we address that are counterbalancing to economics and budget? But John always very compassionately would always bring it full circle. Can we afford it? So that's the question that will ring forever in my mind. In almost every aspect of my life. How do we afford it? So, we relied on you for consistency, kind of a subtle leadership. You would often say, I just want to be a board member. I don't need to be president. I don't need to be treasurer. I don't need to do anything like that. I just want to be a member of the board. I think that the just always needs to be removed from that, especially the way you put it. So thank you. Thank you. Here are a couple of goodies in honor of your service and to show our appreciation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
So next we have, of course, Diane.
I feel like I have to call down to the top.
Yeah. So Diane, first. So when Diane and I started many years ago, a decade ago, if you can believe it, she's been on the board for over 10 years, 2 elected positions and 1 appointment prior to that. So a long time. And with it, you know, I guess you'd say that we kind of grew up together, right? You know, where do we begin? Her kids, my kids, all the various roles that she plays. And what I don't think she knows is that her impact it exceeds beyond work. As parents, you know, she's kind of shared with us roofs and wings for her own kids. Yeah. I don't know if many of you know this. She is a long-standing member of law enforcement holding very high-ranking positions. Like, she's that, right? She is all of that professionally. What she brought to our table and to each of us from that profession sometimes was very direct. And she was saying, no, this is my experience on this front. This is what you need to know. Other times it was subtle. And she actually exercised some. But she brought that, she shared that with us, and we benefited professionally. As a board member and community member, you know, there are many words that come to mind beyond being the professional that she is. There are many, but just to name a few: dedicated, fierce, proactive, knowledgeable, compassionate, celebratory. And I'm going to say it with more affection than words can even describe. Sometimes I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not all, you know, butterflies and unicorns, infuriating.
Okay, I was in their face.
But there you go. First, you know, let's discuss dedication. She's dedicated over a decade, as we already covered, to serving our school district. And if we really think about that for a second, how many of us have spent a decade doing much of anything? I mean, especially in a volunteer role to this extent, you know, I don't know how to honor that, right? That's significant beyond words. And with that, you know, her dedication is second to that is her fierceness. Di is fierce. Some have referred to her engagement on certain issues like a dog with a bone. It's been said, and it's true, again, with love. We should all have a Diane on our boards with that type of fierceness. Yeah. You're proactive. Her mind, particularly in serving as president, it's just forever thinking. And I'm a thinker, so I can say that. It means it's just forever thinking of considerations that maybe we might overlook. Next steps that are very important from a project management, like, you know, if this, then that, timing's important. Constantly thinking. And, you know, we'll never really know how that's benefited us, because you don't know what you don't know because we haven't missed anything, right? So it's an intangible, but it's worth noting, because due to your diligence and your proactive thinking, we've not missed a beat in some very hard times. So we don't know even the impact of that, but I think we should pause and consider it. So along with being proactive, when it comes to your knowledge base, but a knowledge base is no good unless you share it. It only serves in a silo. The thing about Di is she has that knowledge base, that institutional knowledge, that personal knowledge, that we can't, again, understand how that impacts us. But what I do know is that your willingness to share it is the most important point of all of that. It's made me a better board member, a better person, as it's made the whole board, I'd suggest, our serving and acting superintendents, our staff. It allows for all of us to be better. Your willingness to share that. And when we're talking about compassion, the harder decisions are, the more compassion Di has. I can't, the moments are too many to cite when we just kind of sat in silence, because we're dealing with such critical issues. And what's going on in Diane's mind, I can tell you 100%, is how do I help? Well, you know, this is impossible. How do I help? How do I help? 100%. That's what's leading and driving her thought processes in each of those instances. How do I help? So compassion with Diane is, it may not appear sometimes, but know it's going on because she got the, you know, dog with the bone and compassion. But it's there. I've seen it. It runs deep. She's also celebratory, as I mentioned. From her usual holiday attire, often matching earrings. Let's not forget high heels. She is ready to celebrate, whether it's the community passing its bond,
any variety of our students at any level in their, respective accomplishments, or whether it's my kindergartner years ago winning the coloring contest for the township's holiday, events. Whatever it is, big or small, if you need somebody to be excited with you, you should find Diane. She will meet, that call of action. It's amazing, no matter what, you share that. And I will say it's, again, not all butterflies and unicorns. In addition to the endless accolades I can share, and I swear this is not much longer, one thing I'm confident we share is that, again, and I say this with affection, she can be, for me, one of the most infuriating people I know. And I'm positive me for her. So this is a big one. But she's also someone who isn't afraid of straight talk. I've come to find, for me, Diane's brand of infuriating is actually endearing. She is one of the few people where you can have a heated conversation that I believe you have hung up the phone on me before. And get to the end of a very heated conversation, and possibly with a little bit of a grumble in one of our voices, both of our voices. Okay, I love you, I'll see you later. and pick back up next time, maybe with the same fight. You can say hello. And the next thing is, but all of that, as a fellow board member and a friend, is where all that comes together, right? And your approach exemplifies that differences and collaboration are not mutually exclusive, right? And they actually together create really good things. So we couldn't be more different in many ways. I'd suggest our political views on many fronts are different. Our leadership styles are very different. Our demeanors, right down to our manner of communicating, different. On more than one occasion, I've been asked to translate Di's often whirlwind communication style, as she is so excitedly, passionately, and it just has so many good thoughts in her head that they come out in one breath of beautiful words that require translation. Yes. And your sentiments are there. It's just a matter of waiting patiently enough for it all to get there. And in the same breath, vice versa, just as I know you have looked at me at sometimes and said, just stop reflecting and spit it out. Just say something. So all of that goes to say that, often she is the go and I am the pause, right? But it reflects that differences are good, not dividing. And that's a balanced and cherished attribute I see in our board. And that's in my, to a large part to your legacy. Thank you. And almost forgot the plan. Oh, I'm not good at formalities. This is for you to hang on yourself, your wall.
I am.
Look at it, or think of all of the memories that you have with us.
Hold it back up. Turn around.
We're gonna close up some tonight. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And it says, thank you for your 10 years of outstanding leadership and unwavering dedication to public education and the students and the staff of Brandon School District 2012 to 2022.
Oh my God, thank you. I have to say everything she said was the truth. And there's nobody that I've had the best relationship with Lisa. Our abilities, I think, like I say, to argue, disagree, but to still walk out sort of agreeing with each other that we agree with it. And nothing better than how many times have we said we have to do that pause, at least a pause, because I have a tendency to not do that. But your balance helped me be a better leader, better person on this board by far. And I really appreciate that, and it will never be forgotten. So, but I do have something very, very short, and I promise it is short. not as long as the other one for Cook Robinson, but Brandon School, this is what I believe. Brandon School District is the best. The teachers, the administrators, and all staff, and I'm repeating all staff, so police, bus drivers, schools, anybody I'm forgetting it, I mean all staff, everybody, parapros, food service, maintenance, everybody, all staff are amazing. All of you continue to astonish us as you work your jobs. You are all heroes. I thank you for your dedication. And this is the best board I've ever worked with. I really feel that all of you are strong, balanced, and caring for all the right reasons. I feel honored to have worked with all of you. And I mean that. And I thank you. Okay, John, I'll do this afterwards so we get the meeting. We'll end. I'll do this at the end. That's okay. John and I can look through our stuff. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you very much. Bye, Lisa. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have the action items. Can I get it? Finance.
Yeah, is that why? Yeah, no, but that's okay. I really don't have a report tonight, but I did have something fun. I don't share it. I don't share community education news too often, but pulling it up. We've been doing this Pillsbury Bake Off Easy Bake Oven contest the last 4 years or so. And I should have Rachel in here. And last year, so they do it at the local schools, and then they have like this regional event where 10 different schools participate, 30 winners, or 30 students and one winner. So last year we had a winner. He won first prize from Oakwood, and the picture's coming up. This year, we're proud to announce we have a little girl from Harvey Swanson who went to the regionals, and she won first place. So Brandon is now the I guess baking champions of the best or something. I don't know. But they're very cute, and the kids really became their dads. I know, Rhea, thank you. It's coming last minute.
I hope you have a picture of that trophy.
Yeah, I know the trophy went last year. It's like huge, but so the little girl there, what was her name again? Melody. Melody and her dad. We had student council students come and help judge the local, but then when they went to the regional, it was not anybody from Brandon, but her and her dad, which I thought was really cool. That was a daddy-daughter thing. They baked their cake, and their cake was an easy bake oven. It was kind of creative theme. So they won, and then again they won the region, and then the fourth picture over there is the little guy who won last year first place in the region, and he this year came in fourth locally. So it's just kind of fun. It's very fun. The kids get very excited. Coy has seen the trophy. The trophy will be going to Harvey. And we've been excited how many participants we've had, and they're really into it. So it's we will continue.
Oh, nice, great news! Congratulations.
Okay.
Anything else for finance?
No, just something fun and light.
Okay, perfect. And action items. Can I get approval of the Brandon High School Spanish class overnight trip to Chicago?
Move the Brandon Board of Education approve the BHS Spanish class overnight trip to Chicago, March 14th through 15th, 2024, as presented.
Support. Okay, Lori, you want to come on up and say anything, or it looks like this is for 2024, correct?
Yeah, so as we were getting ready to leave for this year's trip, the tour guide or the travel company we've worked with said, if you're going to go next year, you better plan it now. She said there's a national shortage on motor coaches and bus drivers. So she said, like anything 2023 right now is probably not even possible. Wow. So we picked to go in March, and then I've been working with Mr. Stevens and Mr. Johnson to try to coordinate with the academic calendar and the sports calendar, so we don't affect testing dates or the end of winter season and tryouts for spring. So we think we have the perfect 2 days. So yeah, so we're going back for this will be the third time.
Oh, great. Okay, any questions? I know we enjoy approving this. Having none, can I get a roll call vote, please?
John Chartier,
Yes.
Rebecca Haynes, yes. Lisa Cameron, okay. Kim Smith Colaga,
Yes.
Hillary Stokowski,
Yes.
Jeff Zilke,
Yes.
Diane Salter.
Yes. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you went all that. Next, we have an action item to accept approval to accept the first reading of the Neola policy update 37.1. Could I get a motion, please?
Move the Brandon Board of Education approve to accept the first reading of Neola policy updates 37.1 as presented.
Support.
Any discussion on that, Dr. Richards, or?
I think it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that was earth-shattering or shocking that I thought would require a committee to meet with the dean. But if you do think of something between now and the next meeting, don't hesitate to give me a call. It was fairly straightforward.
Any questions? Having none, can I get a roll call vote, please?
John Chartier,
Yes.
Rebecca Haynes, yes. Kim Smith Colaga,
Yes.
Hillary Stokowski,
Yes.
Jeff Zilke,
Yes.
Diane Salter.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna move citizens input up next. I don't think there's any. I'm just making sure there's no hands up.
There are no hands up.
Okay, having none, could I get a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of security discussion?
Move the Brandon Board of Education move to closed session for discussion of security topics.
Support.
Okay, having none, any discussion? Having none, could I get a roll call vote, please?
John Chartier.
Yes.
Rebecca Haynes, yes. Kim Smith Colaga.
Yes.
Hillary Stokowski.
Yes.
Jeff Zilke.
Yes.
Diane Salter.
Yes. Okay, we will go into closed session. Can I, we can hit pause and. Yeah.